pears. That's all.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
That's the recipe. Okay, and Dawson's going to do Magic's Big Bubble recipe.
Try to use your other hand.
Like somewhere else, you see sun everywhere, right?
Children need opportunities to work alone, alongside each other, in pairs, and also in small and large groups.
No, okay. I can get it. All right, good. I'll grab it myself.
Some groupings happen spontaneously. Teachers create others, particularly small and large groups, to encourage different learning opportunities. Most obviously, groups present situations in which social learning occurs as children watch, listen, play, solve problems, and share their observations and ideas with peers.
Guys, I just came up with another idea.
What's your idea?
Effective teachers attend to individual and group dynamics. From observing children's comfort levels and preferences with various groupings, they can plan strategies to ensure that each child feels secure and supported in trying out new or uncomfortable situations. For example, a teacher might put quiet children in the same small group, where they might be more likely to speak up, knowing they won't be talked over by louder, more verbal children. Or a dual language learner whose English speaking skills are comparatively well developed can help another child whose English is not yet as advanced. Such strategies give each child the opportunity for a rewarding and positive experience.
Splitting into groups is always challenging. It's always different. I never have the same groups, and it's never for the same reason. For this lesson itself, I wanted to mix 5th graders with kindergartners so they can help each other. Some things are more difficult for the kindergartners to understand on a scientific level, so I like to mix it like that. There's some activities where I want all the kindergartners together and all the 5th graders together, so then they're bouncing off each other and exploring on a higher level. There's other times where I know that this person can't be with this person because you know something's going to go wrong. I have twin girls. They're not very good together. they do work together well sometimes, but other times I know that they just shouldn't be in the same group. So think about that ahead of time, how you want to break them up. You can let them choose and then adjust if you need to, or you can just pick on your own. It's whatever really works with your program. But for this lesson, I chose to mix the ages so they can do more hands-on and help the little ones.
She describes some adjustments that she might make in the future to her collaborative setup if she knows she will have a limited number of children participating.
Oh, I also would have cut them into smaller groups. I was expecting more children, so 4 in a group sounded really great. Once I noticed that there was only 9 or 10 kids, I could have cut them into 2 groups, and then they have more time to explore on their own that way, hands-on. All right, what do you guys know about float? So if I drop this into your water, what's it going to do? Is it going to float? Is it going to sink? Is it going to spread? What's it going to do? No, do not use the straws. Just if I had 8 kids in a single group around 1 bin of oil in the ocean, it would have been really difficult for them to really explore on their own. Everyone's waiting for their turn. Then they get distracted. They'll start talking, having a side conversation, which is great, but it really does take off the topic. If you give them that more time, I think that's when they were able to build their own objects to try to clean it up because they had that time. They had the materials. You know, you're using less materials this way because you're able to spread it out, so it's better on your budget. Sometimes in bigger groups, some conflicts may arise where they don't really stay on topic and they don't get the answers that they're looking for. So it really is best just to break it up into smaller groups if it's possible for your center, and just allow them the freedom of exploring.
So when you think about your body temperature is 98 degrees, this is going in the opposite direction. This is negative. So once you get to 0, and you just...
This director brings expertise from an elementary school classroom to her work as a summer camp director.
Get to know the kids that you're working with. That's the probably one of the best things that you can do, is because if you know them on a more personal level, you know how they are as a learner, what they need as a learner, how they react to learning. It can help you in planning and help things go smoother. If you know that you've got a really active group of kids, then you need to have things that are more active and hands-on and that move at a faster pace. If you've got kids that can hold their attention for a longer period of time, it changes what you do. So you have to adapt to the kids that you're working with. You can't necessarily have a set plan and expect it to go that way every time, because then you're going to have a harder time with it than if you are open and flexible to the idea that things might need to change based on the kids you're working with. In my class in the past year, I had a child who, no matter who he was paired with for grouping tended to have a difficult time working with other kids because of the control that he wanted to take. And you can work with kids on that, kind of talking through, modeling some ways to help them work together, helping them understand that it's okay if it doesn't always go your way. Maybe you try it the way of your partners first and then your way. But there's also times when those kids, if they're happy working alone, it's okay. Maybe they're working alone with the materials, but you get them pulled into the discussion with the group. I think also the thing as you get to know kids better is to kind of watch their behaviors and how they interact with people, and so to kind of try and mix in those kids with somebody that they can get along with, but that will bring out the side of them, because they're all great and they're interested in the science and they're having a good time with it, just bringing out that side of them as opposed to the side that's more silly and off task. Because it can kind of go either way. You know, like if you've got the person next to you encouraging you to take a closer look, you're going to do that. But if you have another person that's encouraging you to get more off task, that might be the route that you go.
So this turning pink? Well, no, it's the black, but when it gets wet,